you chat?
Always.
Bum, 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 bum.
We're back.
Hey there.
How you doing?
How are you? It's been a minute.
It's been too long. Did you miss us? Because we missed you. Do you remember that TikToks? Oh, no, you don't, because you don't have TikTok.
No, I don't.
It's from the Kardashians, and like everyone was doing it. It was like, did you miss us? Because we missed you.
I mean, I feel like a ton has happened since we...
Well, we bombed Iran. I was kidding.
Yeah, we obliterated Iran's nuclear program.
I was pretty concerned about World War III.
Yeah. We got an 11:30 p.m. call from you.
I was panicking. I was leaving an event because I never, like, honestly, we could get bombed in the United States. If it was happening during an event, I wouldn't know. Like, I don't pay attention to other notifications or things during an event. So I walked out. I'm like, oh, I got a ton of notifications. I should look. And it was all like, U.S. strikes Iran's nuclear. And I was like, oh my fucking God. Got in the car, called Tyler. I'm like, are we concerned about this? He's like, no, not at all. I'm like, interesting. Click. Called you. I'm like, are we concerned about this? You're like, no, not really at all. I'm like,
not really at all.
interesting. Click. Then I called one of my childhood friends whose husband's in the military. He told me he also wasn't concerned. And
that was enough? Third time's the charm?
I felt slightly better.
Okay.
But now it's all gone away.
That's definitely something major that's happened. Other things, we potty trained Jack.
That's huge. He's such a
well,
big
like
boy.
semi. I mean, he did have an accident at the park yesterday.
Well, I mean, what's life without a couple accidents?
What's funny is like that's the hard part about potty training is like when you're home every like hour you're just like, hey, why don't you go potty? You know, like just consistent reminders. But when you're at the park, There's isn't no a potty. You have to hold it. And the whole like teaching is like when you have to go, stop and go right away.
So it's a little conflicting.
So it's like conflicting messages, and I'm not bringing a fucking potty to the park.
I was going to say I've seen people who like put the little potty in the back of their car.
No, I don't want to do that.
But then you have to like drive around with a potty in your car.
I don't want to drive with a potty in my car.
Is he upset when he has an accident or no?
Literally no.
Okay, that's fine.
But he was like up about to go down the slide, and I was on the ground like staring at him, and then he didn't go down the slide, and he was just standing there peeing.
As you do.
And his shorts are like, you know, getting wet. It's starting to drip down his legs into his shoes. Oh. And he goes, uh-oh, mommy, I peed. I go, I can see that. What happened? I thought we're supposed to stop and go potty right away when we have to go. And he goes, oops.
Oops.
And I was like, well, what are we going to do? And I'm like talking to myself, like, should I just throw him back on the thing and we'll go home? Like, we're not near a bathroom.
Yeah.
And he goes, it's okay. I wipe it. He bends down, wipes his legs off, wipes his shoes, and goes, no worries.
Oh.
Runs away.
He's so can do.
I was like, wait, maybe some worries. Your pants are wet.
And now your hands are filled with pee.
And now you have pee all over your hands. So why don't you come here and I can wipe you down?
They say pee is very sterile, though.
Not to me.
Allegedly.
I don't want some other kids pee all over the park.
Would you pee on me if I got stung by a jellyfish?
I don't think girls can do that.
But like, if you could.
If I could, sure.
I always makes me think of that Friends episode.
If I could pee on you, sure. I'm just excited for him to be, after that swimming debacle. Did I tell you about that?
What swimming debacle?
Oh, so I'm at the gym with Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Mike's taking him swimming.
So fun.
I'm going to go work out. I get a call from Mike. Hey, Jack pooped in the pool. Not in the pool, in his diaper.
Yeah.
He's wearing a swim diaper. Because he is potty trained, but like...
Swim is kind of a dicey place.
Swim, yeah, we're not taking any risks.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, hey, Jack pooped. It's in his diaper, but like, will you help me get him changed? Because Mike is also wet from being in the pool, and I'm not.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, totally. So I grab Jack. I'm like, you go change Mike when you're dry, and I'll like strip him down and like clean him off and then give him to you to get dressed. And he's like, great. He goes in the men's locker room. I go in the women's. So Jack is like pissed to get out of the pool because it was an abrupt
ending to his fun.
Ending to swim. And I take him into the women's locker room and I stand him up on the bench in the locker room. And I'm like, I'm just going to like take off his diaper and bathing suit. And I grabbed a couple of those plastic bags.
Yeah, for swimsuits.
And I was like, I'm going to throw the diaper right in this one. And then the swimsuit in the other one, because that'll probably be a little dirty.
Good plan.
And then I'll give him a little rinse off and we'll be on our way. I begin to pull down his diaper. And as soon as I start to do that, it's overflowing with diarrhea.
Oh my God. I'm going to be sick. What?
Like the most wet poop.
No, people, turn this off.
And I'm like, holy cow. But like, I don't want to make him feel like.
No, this is normal.
Yeah. So I was like, wow. And he's like, Jack poop, mommy. I was like, mommy sees. There is literally, and now it's too late to go back because I've started to peel it.
Yeah.
There is poop water.
No.
Pouring down his legs.
No, Rachel.
Poop pieces.
No, please stop. We want these people to stay.
All over the bench and floor of the locker room.
Please stop.
The locker room is carpeted.
Rachel.
Yeah. And I'm like, it was too late. Like I took off his diaper and it all happened in a matter of seconds.
It was a flash.
Yeah. A flash flood.
Oh my God.
And I was like, and so I don't know if he had diarrhea or if he just pooped a lot in his diaper and it was like mixed with pool water.
It got wet. Yeah.
I'm really not sure. It was a lot though. A real lot.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I don't know what to do. I have no wipes. I have nothing. It's like me, Jack's pool towel.
Did you use the pool towel?
So I'm like, okay, Jack, wait right here. I like go and grab a bunch of gym towels.
No.
Wait. So I'm like, but I can't use these because I'm not going to get poop all over these. So I start trying to get hand towels, just like disposable paper towels. But like we can't keep up with all the poop.
Oh my God.
I can't possibly wipe it up enough because those towels are not absorbent.
They aren't. They're cheap. They're cheaply made.
They're so thin. And I'm like, this isn't working. I've got to move on to the towel. I tried something else and it didn't work. So I sparingly, I used 2 towels.
I hope you took them with you and just threw them away.
John, oh wait. I used 2 towels. One to like, I totally wiped him down, like tried to remove any poo from him. Mm-hmm. And then I start trying to like clean up the floor and the bench. And meanwhile, the locker room attendant.
Oh no.
Is like coming through and kind of like looking at me. And I just keep being like,
we're good.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, Jack, you got the bench all wet. We got to clean it up. The bench is wet. And Jack's like, poop. I'm like, shh.
Shut up.
So I finally get everything cleaned up and contained to bags. I threw the towels away.
Yeah, they got to go.
I felt horrible.
No, but they'll never be clean enough.
I couldn't even imagine throwing them in the towel bin.
Never enough. These towels will never be clean enough.
No, I was like, I can't put them in the bin because they'll get poop on other towels. This gym will have to replace every towel.
Can you imagine if an email came out?
Like someone shit all over. Someone shit in our towel bin, and that's not acceptable. Oh, dear patrons, please use the toilets.
Oh my God.
So then like I've gotten all of like the wet stuff off of him, and so I need to like just put him in the shower for a couple minutes. Mm-hmm. But it's not a shower head. It's just like, from above gym shower.
Pool shower, yeah.
So it's like hitting him in the head. It's chilly. I didn't wait for it to warm up because I was like,
Mom.
Yeah. He's like, no. He's crying. I'm like, enough out of you. I'm like scrubbing his ass crack.
Oh my God.
Because I'm like, there's poop on your legs and feet. We must clean this off.
Oh my God.
I get him like clean enough to put on his change of clothes and go in the car. I bring him to Mike. I'm like, Mike?
You misrepresented what happened.
There was literally poop everywhere. What are you talking about? And he's like, I told you he pooped in his swim diaper. I go, in his swim diaper? It was just barely contained. What was in his swim diaper is now all over the locker room. He goes, what?
We might not be able to come back here.
No, I was like, we have to cancel our membership on our way out.
And don't forget to stop at the front desk and tell them we're never coming back.
So I'm like, okay, you like can get him dressed and whatever. I need to go clean up the locker room because it smells like poop in there.
Oh my God.
I have nothing to clean with. What am I supposed to do? So, and I didn't want them to look in the garbage cans and like see like, oh, someone threw out a towel on accident and take it out. So I had to like, bury them at the bottom.
Oh my God.
Cover them with some plastic bags. It's a whole fucking situation. Then I took hot water and hand soap and wiped down the benches and the carpet floor as best I could.
You made a mixture.
And then I took the hand sanitizer.
Okay.
And put that on there and started wiping with some of that and then more hot water.
You were industrious.
I was like, this is literally all I have.
Wow.
And I cleaned it up like what I would say is enough that like I don't think you would know if you weren't
looking for it.
But it was traumatizing.
Have you been back to the gym?
I have been back to the gym. Towel lady knows because she won't even look me in the eye.
She's seen too much.
The locker room attendant is like, this bitch. And I know it too.
You shouldn't look at her either.
I can't. But I told Mike, he was like, okay, well, what's the big deal? Like, you cleaned them off with the towels. It's not like you left the towels out. I go, left them out. I threw them away. He goes, you threw their towels away? I go, Mike, I'm not putting poop towels in the fucking towel bin.
40 towels have been contaminated.
And he goes, you haven't seen what some of the guys in the men's locker room do with the towels.
What do they do with the towels?
He was like, they are flossing themselves when they get out of the shower.
In their ass cracks?
Yes. He was like, you think there's not poop on those towels?
Flossing themselves is the worst term I've ever heard.
Yep, back and forth.
Okay.
Between their legs.
Yeah, we got it. Men are so gross.
And I was like, well, I hope none of the women's towels get mixed up with the men's.
They definitely do. And you get a floss towel on your face.
And he was like, yeah, so Jack's little poopy towel is nothing. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not participating in that.
I'm not participating in this debauchery.
No, they're in the trash.
Oh, God. Well, I'm sorry that happened to you.
It was traumatizing. And I just want to get to a point where he's like having fun, but also is like, I have to go to the bathroom.
I'm sure that's soon. That's right on the horizon.
Like, can you imagine about to have diarrhea and you're having too much fun and you're like, I'll just shit right here. Not leaving this party.
That's why I don't think he actually had a tummy ache. I think it was the pool water. Because usually diarrhea is like accompanied with like discomfort, and he wouldn't have like played through that.
Yeah, no, he's paddling away.
Yeah, I think it was like a pool situation.
It was definitely a situation.
Ugh. Well, we're glad you survived.
So we're working through that. That's one update.
That's your own Iran.
Seriously. Nuclear bombs. Ugh. And in more exciting news, we have a new nephew.
You do.
My sister-in-law had a baby.
Woo woo. Baby alert.
Dominic Michael.
Welcome to the party.
Welcome to the world, Dommy D.
Before we know it, he'll be pooping in a gym near you.
Yeah. And in just a couple short years, he'll be shitting on a gym bench.
Near you. But everybody's healthy. He's very cute.
So cute. Tiny.
Small.
You know what's so crazy? I just have to say. My sister-in-law was like not a labor sign in sight. Like had just been checked, not dilated.
Feeling good.
I mean, like tired, but like she was like due in 2 weeks and she was like, could be pregnant in a month. Like this baby will never come. Not like 3 hours later, boom. She starts cramping and her water's breaking. Like not a sign in sight. Then bang.
They say every pregnancy is so different. Like I was talking to our friend and she was like, you know what's crazy is she went 2 weeks early and I went a week late. And I'm like, yeah, there's no
rhyme or reason.
No rhyme or reason.
And also, she had like the most uneventful pregnancy, like super easy pregnancy, goes into labor early and then has to have a C-section. Like, what the fuck? I guess they're not related, but.
No, they're not. I mean, someone once said that having a baby is 3 completely different experiences. Like, there are people who struggle to get pregnant and then have the easiest pregnancy and the easiest delivery. People who get pregnant super easily and have the worst pregnancy and the easiest delivery. Like, it's not one cohesive experience.
Right. None are related. So, like, every day of pregnancy is filled with surprises abound. Yeah.
And that's what you want when you're pregnant. Tons of surprises.
Something to look forward to.
Makes each day different.
But yes, he's here. We've been going back and forth debating what's worse, C-section or vaginal delivery.
Where'd you land?
I mean, I can't say because I did vaginal and it was
Everyone
horrible.
has their own unique experience too.
Do you think people who have C-sections think it's worse?
Probably. What's interesting, and it's so uncommon.
People who've had both.
I was gonna say what's uncommon is a VBAC. So like, those are really the only people who could say.
Yeah.
To me, as someone who has not had a baby yet, a C-section sounds worse. Just because it's abdominal surgery.
Yeah.
But that's just based on like what I know about surgeries.
I think like the actual process of having the baby is better.
Like,
but the recovery is worse.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you have a C-section, because like you're laying there.
And you have so much more pain.
Right. When you're delivering, but you still have pain when you deliver vaginally.
For sure, but you have like an incision, like across your abdomen. I would think. I don't know. What the fuck do I know?
That's a question for the ages.
Yeah. People don't know. Both are very difficult, and women are soldiers.
Exactly.
Men could never.
Truly.
But they don't have to.
We carry this society on our backs.
The weight of the world.
And yes, those are the major updates. How about you?
Nothing that substantial. Just we had a busy run of events.
Insane event season.
Insane run of events the beginning of summer. So that was a little kooky, but they were great. And really that's it.
We're rolling into summer.
Have a lot of fun stuff planned for the summer, which I'm excited about. We're going to KC to see my brother and sister-in-law. We have a Lake Geneva trip planned. So pretty uneventful over here. Which is just
We've gotten some pool time in.
I prefer uneventful, TBH.
Me as well.
I like a low impact. Should I give you an icebreaker?
Yeah.
So this is in the spirit of the Jeff Bezos wedding thing. I don't know if you saw that their invitation got leaked.
No.
And it was very nice. It just like didn't have any like actual details on it, but it said no presents, please. We've actually made donations in your name to various charities. So like, come to our wedding. We're billionaires. Don't bring us anything. And it started this conversation online about people who have destination weddings, whether or not you think they should write no presents on their invitation. And if they don't specifically write it, if you think you should give a gift.
If someone has a destination
wedding. When we got married in Paris, I specifically sent out an email with like all the travel information and was like, I didn't write it on our invitation just because like our invitation was sacred and beautiful.
Yeah,
and
an invitation's a work of art.
And I didn't want it on there, but I sent an email that was like, your presence is more than enough. Please don't give us anything. Some people very graciously did give us presents, but like never expected them. And there were people online on this like forum that I was looking at that was like, we're still having a wedding. Like, we're still hosting you. Like, we didn't force you to come on this trip. And I was like,
Now, it's definitely not something I would put on an invitation because that is not a place to put random information.
It's just supposed to invite you to a beautiful event.
Yeah. I don't think you should expect gifts at all. And I think you should definitely say, like, please no gifts because people are traveling far and wide.
Spending a lot of money to come.
Whether that's through like, pass it along through the grapevine, they said no gifts, or you send out an email like, here's some extra details, also no gifts. But I still feel like depending on how close you are to the person, it's nice to give a little something.
Agreed.
Not even necessarily money.
Yeah, just like a little treat.
Yeah, like something that maybe is like unique to
Then
the couple as like of course I'm not going to give you like so much money in a gift, but here's X.
I agree. I always feel like I err on the side of gift giving. Like I'd always rather give a gift than not. But I get it when certain people are like pushing themselves beyond like their financial, like when you're spending thousands of dollars to go on a trip, like that's kind of your gift.
Right.
But I do think it's nice as the couple also, like there were some people who just gave us cards and I was obsessed. Like I just want a little note. Like I don't even need, like so many people just gave us a card, nothing in it.
Now what's weird is when people don't give you a gift at all and it's a normal wedding. Like there are a few people who came to our wedding and we did not get a gift. And it's like, weird. I didn't invite you for the gift, but like,
but you never know.
Never know what.
They could be going through a rough patch financially.
How about a card?
For sure. That's what's weird is the card is really the thing.
Yeah. Like to just not give anything. Like I don't even need the money. Like, okay, of course it's expected to pay for your plates.
Yeah.
Generally.
Which is such a weird concept. Like I didn't tell you to get married at this place. I don't know how much my plate is. Like you picked this place, y'all.
Yes. But so like that's the
decorum.
But a card is still appreciated.
Agreed.
Like, let's say you don't have the money to give a gift, but like, of course you want to be there to celebrate. You're not going to miss someone's wedding. You just give a card and say like, I wish I could give more, but I'm so happy for you and so glad I could be there to celebrate with you.
Agreed.
That's
actually,
all.
That's a lesson for everyone. You should always just write a note.
Yes.
What about if you travel very far for a wedding that's not destination to them?
If you travel very far?
Yeah, like what if you live out of the country or like it's a destination wedding for you?
If it's out of the country, okay. But if you just have to spend money on a flight to come to a wedding,
normal gift giving applies.
Normal gift giving.
I agree.
Do you agree?
I do. I agree.
I mean, I'm not Emily Post, but
like if you get married in like Palm Springs, it could be a bitch to get there. Like if you live in California, it's not that far for you.
If I'm attending a wedding in Palm Springs, but the person
lives in California
and that's
it's not a destination wedding.
Right. Then no, you go and you bring a gift.
Agreed.
You give less of a gift.
I also agree. You can taper it.
Like maybe you would give X amount if they're
local,
but because you have to travel and it's costing you a little more, you give less.
Gift giving is so crazy when you think about it. We're just passing money around.
I think on average, like it depends on where you live, but like $300 a couple is the
normal
minimum.
I think when you're going to a destination wedding, you can, if you want to give, you give a little less, you do whatever. But I think like if that's a local wedding,
I just even feel like if you're going to a destination wedding and you hand someone a check for like $200,
I think it just depends on the destination.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're going from from Chicago to New York, okay, fine. But like if you're going to Mexico,
and it depends on it really depends on the person.
Yeah.
It depends on the person. Like if it's like a single person coming on their own, maybe you expect less. And you know what? There were a couple people who came on their own who didn't give me a gift, and I still sent them a thank you.
Well, thank you for coming. You made effort.
It's a thank you for coming. It's not a thank you for the gift.
My mom recently went to a wedding of a friend who's like not that close of a friend, and her daughter realized she was going to be under her minimum, so she told her mom she could invite a few more people.
Under her minimum?
Yeah, at her venue.
Wow.
And so her mom invited my mom, and so my mom called me and was like, I'm going to this wedding, but like,
why is she going?
She was like, I'm free, like I'm going, but like I wasn't planning on going to this wedding, like how much do I have to give? I was like, honestly, they kind of preface that you're like a filler, like you're doing them a favor almost. Give a portion of what you would give.
Yeah.
You're not that close to these people. You don't even really know the daughter.
Right. No.
You got invited 12 days before the wedding.
Yeah, and if they're saying like, hey, we have to meet our minimum, come to this wedding if you're free, like it's fucking like an open,
like a barbecue,
then like I'm not that concerned about decorum.
Totally. Because they've already broken decorum.
Exactly.
Decorum
like
has no home here.
You hit first. But I do think whether you got a gift or not, a thank you has to go.
Oh, you do?
I do. I
You
know.
hate writing thank you notes, but you do it.
But I do it.
You do it, but you hate it. I love it.
I hate it when it's repetitive. Like when it's like, I didn't see you at all at my wedding, and
now I'm writing bullshit to you.
I invited you because you're a fucking miscellany so-and-so who's invited because I had to invite some other miscellany so-and-sos.
I got it.
And then you gave me a gift and it's like, thank you so much for the gift. It's like, that's not fun to write because you can't be like, so fun seeing you when
the best time.
When Ain't No Mountain High Enough came on and we joined hands on the dance. Like, no, I didn't see you there.
Didn't even realize
I can't pick you out of a lineup.
What'd you wear?
But thank you for coming. Like, that's not fun.
Yeah, I love writing thank you notes.
Yeah, you get like high off of it.
I wrote all the thank you notes for my grandma's funeral. My mom was like overwhelmed and was like, I don't know if I can do this. And I was like, I can.
Funeral thank you notes are like.
She was like, you're so weird. I was like, I like writing thank you notes. I like the format. I like writing things. I loved my cursive. People, if you don't know this about me, I have beautiful handwriting.
She does have great handwriting.
I love seeing it in the written word. I'm like, please. I'm literally like, thank you.
Can't wait to send this bad boy out.
Like, we're touched. I wrote touched a lot because my handwriting looks really pretty with the word touched.
You're like, how can I include touched in here? We're touched you came. I'm touched you were there.
It's touching.
I'm just touched and touched again.
Touch the Van Deens.
Oh, you know what? One other big update that came about while we were on a break
That personally affected you. Seriously.
was Karen Reed was found not guilty.
It was a huge day for you.
Insane.
And
Major
actually
win.
deserved.
Well deserved.
Not guilty.
Because she's not guilty.
She's not guilty.
You agree?
I 100% agree. I find her to be deeply unlikable, but also not guilty of murder.
What's interesting is that because of where we are in the news cycle, jurors have now come out and given interviews.
Oh, from this past trial?
From this most recent one. Kind of saying like, you know, where were you at in the process? What was the thinking in there? And it's so interesting, I think, from like the legal team's perspective to see like, this is what hit and this is what didn't. Like they were like, when they called a very disgruntled police officer to the stand, they thought it was going to help their case. That like
the prosecution did or the defense?
The prosecution thought that it was going to help their case having this person up there because the defense called her and she was so unhelpful. Like she was like, I said that because that's the facts. Like she was so pissed off and rude.
Oh, wow.
To the defense. And so, of course, if it's your own witness, you're not going to be like, objection.
Yeah, like this is weird.
But the prosecution just like let it roll, and it actually benefited the defense, her being so angry. Like they were like, what do you have to hide? Like the jury was like, she was so weird and like off-putting.
Interesting.
So you really get to see like how, from their perspective, how the different witnesses and testimonies affected them.
That is interesting. Being a juror seems like a dream. I'll never get on one, but I'd love to.
Remember when I almost had jury duty?
You're so lucky. I do remember. I never get called. Where are they going? Where are the summons going?
Who?
I want to go on jury duty.
I got summoned. What they say is if you get summoned, then and it doesn't go, then you're like checked off the list.
Yeah, no, you probably won't get summoned again.
Ah, good.
What's interesting is I have very specific qualifications. Like I want to be on a jury, but not one where you're sequestered.
You can't because of your close cop alliances.
I know. Well, not alliances.
Whatever.
Familial
biases.
connections. Not biases. They're getting the words you're choosing are worse. No, because of my familial connections to law enforcement, but I would love to be on a trial, but a very specific one, not one where I'm sequestered. I want to go home every night.
What I wouldn't have given to be on the Karen Reed trial.
Really though, would you?
OMFG.
You'd have left here for days, weeks, months.
Well, in that case, I would have to live in that county.
Of course, but I think they were sequestered. Were they not?
No, they got to go home.
Oh, all right.
They got to go home. Why would a jury have to be sequestered?
When it's it's common in like very high profile cases.
Like the Diddy?
It's a federal one, so I don't know what that does, but it's like when the jury could be tainted. Because like with Karen Reed, for instance, it was such a hot topic. Are you sure they weren't sequestered?
Positive.
So it's such a hot topic. So like I think the Casey Anthony ones were sequestered because the idea is they only want them to take the information they've heard in court into deliberation.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's on CNN and your families are talking about it and your friends are talking about it, they can't control who's swinging your opinion.
Well, they did do some, like, there was some sort of media, like they couldn't give interviews. Like Karen couldn't do interviews while it was going on. Her attorneys couldn't. Like she was only allowed to like comment on her way out of court. And it had to be like very brief. Like she was like, I think that, you know, the prosecution's argument today was really weak and I'm excited to see what tomorrow brings. Like that was like
all she could do.
Yeah. So I don't know if that had something to do with it.
Yeah. So it's just when they're afraid that the jury's going to then be persuaded by outside sources other than the trial itself.
No, they weren't sequestered because the judge said like you can go home.
Interesting.
Home is not sequestered, right?
No, home is home.
So yeah, that's been a really interesting like post trial, but I was really hoping that it would be that she'd be found not guilty because last time it was ruled a mistrial because the jury has now also come back and said like they didn't realize that they could rule on 2 of the 3 counts,
which is like jury 101, and so I blame a lot of people for that. Also, I'm curious if they've ever watched Law and Order.
I actually wouldn't know that
on
myself.
Count 1 guilty, count 2 not guilty. Have they ever seen
but
a crime
then you
drama?
say count 3 undecided?
No, you on count 3 then you say hung jury.
That's what you say?
Yeah, or whatever. I don't know what the term is, but then counts 1, 2, and 3. But it doesn't sound like they were ever going to come. The big kahuna was the murder trial. So if they still were going to be hung on that one, it doesn't really matter what the other counts were.
Well, it sounds like if they had known that the first time around, this would have been the result also. So now they've tried her twice.
That doesn't make sense, though. Then they should have just found her not guilty on all of the charges.
That's kind of what it seems like they were planning to do.
And they just had one juror who wouldn't cave?
No, they were split on whether or not the third count, and I can't remember what it was.
Like DUI or something?
Yeah.
It was definitely DUI. She admittedly has said that they were both drunk.
And that's what she was found guilty of this time around.
Yeah. That's a slam dunk.
Driving while intoxicated. And she got like a year probation. This was like the most expensive DUI ticket. So yeah, justice was served. And you know how I feel about justice.
It wasn't swift, but it was served.
It wasn't swift.
It was rather long, actually.
Yeah, I mean, dragged out.
Justice took the long way.
Beyond. And yeah.
Crazy news. Did you hear that Orlando Bloom and Katy Perry have split?
I did, and I'm surprised by that.
I am and I'm not. So rumors have been kind of swirling since she did that weird space expedition that like they were on rocky ground. Then like they weren't seen together for a while. And now for like probably 3 weeks, it's consistently the news has been like they grew apart. They're not spending time together. They split up. I feel like Katy like is going through something. I don't know what it is. Like this tour is super weird. She's just like, I can't put my finger on it. I used to love Katy Perry, but something is amiss. American Idol showed a side of her that was like so bizarre.
I've never really loved Katy Perry, to be honest.
Her music though, such bangers.
But I thought they were really solid, and they have a baby together.
I know, Daisy
Bloom.
I know.
Is that his real name?
I think so. He has a son also with Miranda Kerr.
There's so many things I want to talk about, and like just I want to talk about The Valley.
The Valley.
We
don't have time. But if you were watching The Valley, Jax Taylor's finally being the monster we all knew lived within him.
Did you see him on Watch What Happens Live this week?
I didn't, but I heard he was a monster also there.
He is the angriest, most controlling person. He can't even let go of it. Okay, we don't have time to get into it, but please watch The Valley.
Please.
There's going to be a lot of good content from coming out this week from the Bezos wedding.
Which I can't wait. I love when celebrities all get together.
So we will be recapping that next week. And
Anna Wintour has stepped down from Vogue, which is crazy. She is Vogue.
There's just so much news. I know. It really is crazy. I didn't think she would. I'm sure she has like a new role.
And I'm also...
Is she leaving like entirely?
I don't know, but I'm also sure she just like wants to be a grandma now. Like she's very close with her daughter. I think it makes sense. I just did never see... I thought her cold... What's the saying? It'd be a cold day in hell or something.
She's the new head of editorial content.
That's interesting.
Longtime editor-in-chief.
I wonder who'll be the new editor-in-chief.
No, those are some big shoes to fill.
I love when there's an opening.
Now that's a big bob to fill.
That's a big bob to fill. I honestly hope and pray that now that she's in a different role, she'll start giving interviews, because I feel like she is so like elusive behind that bob and those sunglasses.
Was she the one who was married to the man who's gay and you sent me that article?
No. It's escaping me now who that is.
I mixed them up.
It's DVF.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That article was crazy. Did you read it?
I did.
But yeah, there's a lot happening in the world, but we'll try and keep you updated.
No, really. We missed 1 week and
we heard a lot of people complaining about us taking 1 week off last week. It was 100% my fault. I apologize.
Don't blame me.
It was 100. I take 100% blame. I had so much going on at work, but we missed you and we're back.
We're back, baby. In honor of my new nephew being born and having a name that I love.
His name is really cute.
Now, I preferred this name to the other name. The choices were Dominic and Nico, which I actually like both.
They were both good choices.
Both really cute. I've always liked Dominic more.
It's a sweet.
So I was sort of like selfishly like, I hope it's Dominic, but I was like, love them both, you know? But she went with the one that I liked, and we all win. And so when I was going through dilemmas, I saw this one. I'm not going to read it because it's really long, but thank you to this person for taking such time.
We appreciate your thoroughness.
But basically she's saying that her sister is having a baby and she is naming the baby a name she doesn't like. Now, I don't know if this is the name. It's Xander with an X.
Oh, that's a name.
That's how it's pronounced, right?
Yeah, that's Xander.
Like a Z, because she spelled it phonetically also.
It's Xander.
And she's like, I really don't like that name. And I also had a boyfriend who was abusive.
Oh my God.
Who had that name.
The story gets worse.
But she's like, my family doesn't know the extent. Like, they think like I had this ex-boyfriend, Xander. And she's like, my sister said, I've always loved that name.
But why?
Xander?
Yeah.
God, if I know.
I hate that name.
I don't like it either. And I also don't like, it's like Xavier. Is it Xavier or Xavier?
I don't know. It trips me up. Xander.
It's Xander. So she's like, I don't want to like rain on her parade and be like, that's the name of my abusive ex-boyfriend. And also it's not my name to choose.
Right.
But how, she's asking basically how vocal do you need to be when you really hate the name? Like there's a difference between, don't love that name and what is that name?
I think it depends on your relationship. So
your own sister or best friend.
Yeah. Like whoever we're talking about. Like if a coworker was like, I'm naming my baby Xander and I hated it, I'd be like, anywho's, don't care. When it's your sister, I don't think you need to bring up the abusive ex-boyfriend because like don't lay that on her and like
okay, God.
Yeah, like you can't control other people's experiences in the world. Like,
right.
But I think you can be like, I'm not obsessed with it. Like if you go with it, it's great. But like, what do you like about it? Could I maybe come up with some other ones? But I do think ultimately what someone names their child is their choice. Like,
but how, like if you really hate it that much, like I'm trying to think if you wanted to name a baby
Xander.
No, I'm not so offended by, I mean, I don't like it, but I'm not offended by it. You should answer this then. You should give this girl a call.
I'm like, let me handle it. Give me your number.
If you wanted to name a baby Augustus, which is a name you've mentioned.
Yeah.
I actually love August.
Right.
And I hate Augustus with a burning passion. Because Augustus, number one, sounds German and therefore Nazi-like.
Uh-huh.
And number two is
Gloop.
the name of a character from Willy Wonka, Augustus Gloop. And so neither of which are names that I like.
But the reasons you don't like it, no offense, I love you, I want you to keep your opinion, don't dissuade me. Like if I'm going to name baby Augustus, I will. But I think you should have the space to tell someone.
Because if you really hate it so much, maybe you're like, oh my God, I didn't think that it sounded like Augustus Gloop. Now I don't like it.
I could take or leave Augustus. Like I'm not obsessed with it, but like if I had a name that I was obsessed with, and
but why not August?
Okay, well, this is not your platform. For these sort of grievances, but if I had a name that I was obsessed with and you didn't like it, I'd be like, thank you for telling me, but like I still really like it.
But like I truly want to know, like when I was deciding between names for Jack, I really liked Jack and Ben. I really wanted to know which one you liked more. Like it wouldn't dissuade me because you were like, I like both. Like you were like, there's one of them isn't so offensive. I just want to know, like, I want to make sure you like the name too, and other people I love. Like, you guys like the name, right?
I want everyone's opinion. Like, that's what I'm saying. You should feel safe to say it, but also respect if they don't heed it.
And also, if you're naming them something like Ben, like, what is wrong with that name?
There was a name that there was a name that I loved that you were like, it sounds like this to me, and I was like, oh, that's an excellent point.
Nazi-ish again.
So I was grateful you pointed.
If something about the name reminds you of the Holocaust, it's important to share.
It's important to share, and that was useful. I don't hear Holocaust when I hear Augustus, so
it just sounds Germany,
right? So that one doesn't land on me, but I'm grateful you told me so I can take it under consideration. So I think with Xander, you say like, I'm not obsessed with it. If it's like your number one name, I don't want to be the puppeteer of your fate. So like, if that's what you think your baby's name is, go with it. But I also don't think you should keep secrets like that. Like I would be annoyed if after I named a baby something, someone was like, oh, I don't like that. It's like, well, bitch.
Like, of course it's not your opinion to share. And I'm not going to share my opinion. I think here's my advice. If the name is like, there's no other contenders, we're in like the 9th inning.
This is the name.
The name is Xander. And like,
there's
I think
a blanket.
I think it's fair for you to then say like, I don't know, like maybe I'll feel differently when he's born, but like it's just not my favorite name. Like it kind of reminds me of that boyfriend I had who was a dick.
Just float it.
Float it out there. But then like, you know, you don't want her to resent you forever if then she has this baby and he's 5 and she's like, well, I know you hate Xander. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake.
1,000%. It has to be gentle.
Yes. Just throwing it out there. And if she's like, really, you think? Like if she's open to it, have a chat.
Honesty.
But like when you're spitballing names, like when you're like, I kind of like this, I kind of like this. If there's a name I don't like, I usually keep it to myself.
Totally.
Because like,
unless you hate a name.
Yeah. Let's narrow it down to some names and then you can't give your opinion on every fucking name.
No. But I do think it has to be like open to, I hate when people.
Unless it's such an offensive name like that other name you were thinking of.
Which one?
Pharaoh or?
Pharaoh.
Farfel? What was it? It started with an F and I hated it.
Oh, it was a girl's name that Tyler loved. I can't think of it. It's Norwegian. But yeah.
Yeah, whatever it was, that name I hated. And I just couldn't possibly go on in life with that, with having that hate in my heart.
I understand completely.
So that's our advice. Float it out there, see how receptive she is, and then either like really go in, and if she's like, this is the name, I've painted it on the wall and on my soul,
personalized blankets,
then Xander it is. And just make up a cute little nickname like
Dandy. Like Sandy.
Yeah, X.
Durr.
Any of those.
All right, I'll call you later.
Call you later. Love you.
Love you. Bye.